Today is an interesting day because we have a lot lined up today. Let's dive into all that we have installed for today. First, workers down tools as Labour begins nationwide strike. From Rivers State in the south region to Kaduna in the northwest, the workers' action grounded economic activities in compliance with Labour's directive. Striking workers have down tools across the nation as the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress (TUC) begin their industrial action over the hike in electricity tariff and a lack of consensus on a new minimum wage. While the National Assembly had stepped in at the last minute to avoid the industrial action declared on Friday, the discussions ended in a stalemate, leading to the commencement of the strike. In compliance with the order, some workers in several parts of the country were shut out of their offices. In Rivers State in the south region to Kaduna in Nigeria's northwest. The workers' actions grounded economic activities. Airport entrance shut in Port Harcourt. At the Port Harcourt airport as early as 7 a.m., airport workers under the aegis of the Association of Nigeria Aviation Professionals (ANAP) and the National Union of Air Transport Employees (NUATE) block access into the airports for vehicles. This forced passengers to come down and walk into the airport. However, flights haven't been disrupted and there is heavy security presence. According to the chairman of Rivers State chapter of the Association of Nigeria Aviation Professionals, Emmanuel Akaga, the passengers are still being allowed into the airport because the road leading to the airport connects some communities. He, however, said there is no checking in or boarding allowed. Striking grounds activities in Kaduna. In Kaduna, the students of the Kaduna Polytechnic have been locked out of their campus by Labour officials in compliance with the nationwide indefinite strike as early as 7 a.m. Union officials stormed the Unugwarimi campus at the school. They drove the students out of the institution and locked the gates. Some of the students who spoke to the channel's television condemned the incident, asking Labour to return to the negotiation table. They are all worried that the academic calendar will be affected if the strike continues. Labour leaders in the states also sealed the main gates of the National Ear Care Center. They chased out the workers and also prevented outpatients from getting into the hospital. At the state secretariat in Kaduna State capital, where about 7 ministries are located, workers were locked outside of the gates by the Labour Union leaders. The main gate leading to the secretariat is under lock, with no ongoing in or coming out. Activities in the bank and other financial institutions were also disrupted as the staff were not allowed to get into their offices by the Labour Union officials. The National Union of Electric Employees (NUEE) also has shut down operations at the Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company (KAEDCO). The Kaduna chairman of the Trade Union Congress (TUC), Abdullahi Danfulani, said all affiliate unions are complying total with the strike and won't come back down till federal government does the needful. Edo Imo workers comply. Kaduna is not the only state where workers are complying with the labor order. Members of the NLC and TUC in Edo State are also joining their colleagues across the nation. They have locked up the state secretariat in Benin City, shutting out civil servants from the complex. The unions say even though the state government recently increased the minimum wage to 70,000 naira, they had to comply with the national body's directive, maintaining that the strike is not targeted at the state. In Imo State, the officials of the NLC have locked out civil servants at the state secretariat at the state secretariat in Owerri, the state capital. An unusual Monday morning in Lagos. The situation is not different in Nigeria's commercial nerve center, Lagos, as government offices has been shut down. In Alausa, where most state government offices are located, workers were locked out and business activities were grounded. Channels Television observed that the roads were unusually less busy on a Monday morning in Lagos. The Lagos State Chairman of the NLC says the union is out to ensure compliance with the directive issued by executives. Strike begins in Ogun, Oyo, Cross River. Ogun State is also experiencing a crippling of economic activities. The Federal Secretariat in Abeokuta, the state capital, is under lock and key. Workers stated away from office in compliance with directives of the national leadership of NLC and TUC. The NLC Secretariat in Ibadan, the Oyo state capital, was also deserted. Students were turned up at school were sent back by their teachers in compliance with the labour directive. Workers in Cross River State had also joined the strike. Public schools did not also operate as the teachers and other states comply with the strike. Moving on, the National Minimum Wage Act of 2019 has expired, says Falana. Falana urges the National Assembly to swiftly pass a new National Minimum Wage Act, similar to the expedited enactment of the new National Anthem Act. Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, said that the National Minimum Wage Act of 2019, which sets the national minimum wage at 30,000, has officially expired. According to the legal luminary, it is time for the National Assembly to pass the new National Minimum Wage Act. In a recent statement, Mr. Falana pointed to Section 3(4) of the Act, stating that the wage expires after 5 years and must be reviewed. Explaining further, he noted that as the Act commenced on the 18th April 2019, the minimum wage expired on the 18th April 2024. During the last May Day rally in Abuja, Honorable Nkiruka Oyejocha, Minister for State for Labour Employment, announced that a new national minimum wage would take effect on May 21st, 2024. This announcement follows the federal government's removal of the fuel subsidy last year, which led to an additional 35,000 naira wage subsidy for 6 months starting September 2023, bringing the total monthly wage of 65,000 naira during this period. Additionally, various states governments, including Lagos and Edo, set their minimum wage at 70,000 naira. However, the federal government has proposed a new minimum wage of 48,000 naira. This proposal has been met with resistance from the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress (TUC), who have embarked on an indefinite strike over the failure of implement a realistic new minimum wage. Reports indicate that leaders of the National Assembly have stepped into immediate situation. Falana, in his brief statement, urged the National Assembly to swiftly pass a new National Minimum Wage Act, similar to the expedited enactment of the new National Anthem Act, which was completed within 48 hours last week. Thank you. That's all for today on the nationwide strike.